Okay, gang, I may have mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was taking on another 65 Mustang project, and this one is from a YouTube follower. So he seeked me out, we got together, and I decided to do this car for him. So the good things are the engine, transmission, all that stuff's already done. He did all that work. He did all the suspension and brakes, and all that is ready to go, but it needs the body work done. Now this car was at a body shop, and they were kind of jerking him around a little bit. He didn't like the way things were going, and he decided to pull it out of there. In the process, they managed to bang up one of his new fenders. That's small, but still, it's irritating to have stuff like that done to your car or parts. They did some Bondo work on the doors, and I think there was some work done up here. I'm not real sure exactly what they were doing. More Bondo on the door. And they've worked on this quarter panel, and there is a patch, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm not sure if they knew or what they had planned to do. It looked like they were, I don't know, maybe working on the seam. I don't know if they were trying to make it go away or what, but they may have been, they just were just shaping it and going to open it up again later. I don't know. We'll get into that. Tail panel has some Bondo on it. This quarter panel has a bunch of Bondo on it, or filler, as you may call it, or I may call it. Kind of looks like they were using Rage, which is a good product, but there's some filler on the door here and there, and different things. Looks like they did some patchwork up here on this front. So it's going to need some attention, and for the most part, it's a pretty solid car, surprisingly. The car is from Alabama, but it's going to need some attention. You can see it's got a hole here in this panel. Oh, there you can see the patches they put in the quarter, and we're going to address that. We're going to put a full quarter on it. There's also some damage in a variety of places, some thin metal, a little bit of separation there. And so the owner has provided me actually with a full pan back here to use however I want. I can, you know, cut it up and make it fit and do what I need it to do. He got me a quarter panel, and I believe the outer wheelhouse, pretty sure. I have a patch panel for this side, and we'll decide on how that's going to play out once I get it exposed and figure that out. In looking at it, somebody has worked on the floor pans. You can see the overlap there, and that's not a problem as long as it's fully welded. But this area up here, those are pop rivets. So this panel isn't welded properly to the floor support or the frame rail, however you want to label it. So I'm going to take this whole pan out and replace it, and I'm also going to take out this stuff. And I already have kick-ups for repair work. I see now there's some damage on the inner rocker, so it's hard to say what's there until I get that all cleaned off. There's also some deep pitting back here in this kick-up area coming off the floor pan, and there's some thin metal here. Surprisingly, that's pretty solid for one of these cars, but I have all new metal to take care of the floor pans, that section, and the toe kicks or kick-ups. And I'll probably salvage the seat risers because they appear to be solid, so I'll reuse those. Otherwise, I'm going to repaint the dash and go back to the original color. And on the outside, it'll be some sort of a metallic blue. This is what was on the car when he got it, and he kind of likes that color. So we're going to go back with something in that range of a metallic blue. Obviously I'll have to do, you know, fitments of front end pieces, and like I said, he's already taken care of the goodies under the hood. which is nice. Thing runs really nice. The big pluses are the aprons appear to be solid front and back, so that's nice, both sides. However, the core support is bent, and he even pointed out that it had been in a wreck at some point, and you can see looking across that core support's all wavy, and that affects how the hood latches. So I'm going to remove that core support and replace it. That's not that hard to do, and it'll make this much cleaner and straighter under the hood. Now again, I don't know if I mentioned, he's not looking for a show car. He wants a really nice driver, and this car will be a really nice driver when I'm done with it. So I'm getting warmed up, I'm getting excited about it, and I'll end up hitting all this junk with a stripper of some sort. Not a chemical stripper, but a stripper wheel, probably a gator grip, so I can see what all's there and get a much better look at the overall car. So this will be the first video on this car, and this car is going to have a name, and the name is going to be Mystique, just like the character in X-Men, because she was blue and kind of a transformer. So stay tuned, and we'll see how this ride goes.